Hello heathens, and welcome to my channel. I am Beauty Heathen, and my channel is dedicated to the exploration of paganism, be it through the cosmetics, when I do educational content, when I do demonstration content as to how to make your own magical items, or do ritual work, or be it through when I do readings. Of course I went like this, you can't see, but I have all my decks of cards stacked off to the side. But I had put a poll in the video I released today. Don't mind me, I'm just getting a little bit more comfortable. Asking people what's something that they wanted to see, and Metamorphosis Rox was kind enough to reply and said that she would like a demonstration on how to make your own peace candle. For basically the purposes of this video, I wanted to keep the herbal fancy stuff to a bare minimum because one, it's not really required, and two, let's face it, a lot of the pagan shops, the botanicas, any items that I may be using on this channel, you may not be able to find or obtain right now because of the self-isolation, the quarantine, and the shutdowns of non-essential businesses. So I wanted to use primarily things you can just find in your own house. And I want to make a little thing clear here. There's one thing that I meant to add to this that I forgot to bring upstairs with me, and that is salt. So I know I had black salt somewhere. I don't know if I can find it though. So please forgive me moving around a bit and moving things around for a moment. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. I have such an array of things just plopped around. Anyway, doesn't look like I'm finding it, but that's okay. Mainly because I have another item that I'm going to use as well, which is going to basically give the same purposes. It's just that salt helps with purification. And it doesn't have to be any kind of fancy salt at all. You can just use regular table salt and just add it to the combination that I'm doing here if you would like. And that is especially helpful if you do not have any way to smoke cleanse any of your items. So with all of that said, I just wanted to do a very basic, easy to do, rudimentary candle. This is just a plain white candle that I got off of Amazon in a bulk box way before all of this started. So I will try to link it down below in case you're able to get it. I know the company has a lot of different colors of candles, but white is always the unifier or the one color candle that can be used for anything. Now, if you don't have a white candle, that's okay. You don't have to use a white candle. You don't have to use a plain candle. You could use a spare candle that you got from Yankee Candle, or a scented candle you picked up somewhere, or any color, whatever you feel is right for you. You just want to make sure to put the purpose of it into the candle. Now, because I wanted to do something very basic, very rudimentary, very simple today, we're foregoing the carving. You can if you want. It doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to be anything huge. You could just literally carve in a peace symbol onto the candle if you wished. But I just wanted to take this as, dear Lord, we are all feeling it right now. We all need a little bit of a break, and sometimes we just need something really easy, really quick, really broken down, not complicated, just to give us a little bit of help, you know? So I'm not doing any special ingredients today. I'm not doing anything that you couldn't find in your own home, even in your own pantry. And if you don't have chamomile like this, if you have chamomile tea, tear a frickin' bag open. That's it. Just call it done. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. So, first thing that I always do is I did cleanse my items with smoke. But again, if you don't have access to that, it's okay. You don't have to use it. You don't have to do any of that. Especially where you may not be able to find it, or you may have limited access to things right now. So, I always use dragon's blood oil. Ironically, in my house, it's the oil that I have the most of right now, as my pantry is looking a little bit bare, but you could use any oil. You could use olive oil. Olive oil is actually really good because olive is another ingredient for peace. If in traditional hoodoo, I believe, they use olive leaves and crush it if they're doing something for peace. But I always use dragon's blood oil, and I'm running out of olive oil anyway. So, as always, put some oil in your hand. Again, if you're using an essential oil, always use a carrier oil with it. Do not do what I'm doing. I am only doing this because I know I do not have a reaction with dragon's blood oil, but some people might. This is not one of the essential oils that they recommend using as is, if I recall. I'll try to find if that's correct, and if I'm wrong, I'll put something here about it. But I always put the oil on my hands, rub it together, and then I just take the candle in my hands and I focus my intention into it. And again, if you can't hold the candle, it's okay. You can hold it while it's in its glass. You don't have to touch it physically. Or if you wish to, if this is something that's in glass, you can put your fingers on top of the wax on top. You don't have to hold it like this. So I want you to take a few deep breaths and mentally picture what it is you want. Picture a nice, peaceful, harmonious home. Picture you having some relaxation, some peace, literally. Things going smoothly, things going with ease. And as you picture these things, envision that energy of everything that you want traveling down your arms and going into and staying within the candle. That everything you wish for this peace candle to accomplish, be it peace of mind, peace from haters, peace in the home, whatever it may be, imagine it, envision it, and send that energy into the candle. And I have an itch. Okay. And once you're satisfied that it has been thoroughly channeled in, I want you to do yourself a favor. On top of channeling that energy in, just put into it that you want this to be a permanent situation. That what it is you wish, what it is you're looking for, what it is you want in your life, in your home, be permanent from this point forward, whether there is a candle burning or not. And once you are satisfied with that, take a little bit more oil. Can be olive oil, again, does not have to be dragon's blood oil. Just take your hands and coat the candle from bottom up. Because again, when you're doing something ritual based, you want to anoint the candle in a clockwise motion, and you want to do so going up. Now, this candle is encased in glass and you cannot touch the candle and do all of this. Just take a little bit of oil, put it on your finger, and anoint the top of it. Again, in a clockwise motion. Okay? So once that is done, let me just grab a Kleenex to get some of the oil off my hands, just because I'm going to be touching other things. I do love that smell. It's one that, especially when I went for such a long time not doing ritual work, you forget how much you love the smell of certain things. But if you have not watched my video on how to make your own cascarilla powder, I'm going to link it somewhere up here, because that is the first ingredient I'm going to grab, is my homemade cascarilla powder. And literally all this is ground eggshells. That's it. That's all cascarilla powder is. If you went to a Botanica, they usually sell it in little paper cups, and this powder is compressed into almost like, it looks exactly like chalk, but in a very small cup. And they may call it just ground eggshells. They may call it cascarilla powder. Whenever I've bought it, it's been called cascarilla powder. But all you want to do, I'm just moving the candle to the side for a moment. You don't need a lot. And this is something very easy to make yourself, very cheap. If you're making breakfast, some scrambled eggs or anything, just save the eggshells. That's all you gotta do. Let's put some down. Now, I'm going to do everything today without the use of a mortar and pestle. One, because I know not everyone has one. And two, because my mortar and pestle is still filled with that special herb blend that I made for other purposes. So I just wanted to do something very easy. If you have rosemary, just take a pinch of it. Doesn't have to be a lot. This might even be too much for what I'm doing. But rosemary is an herb that I use all the time. And frequently when you look up the magical purposes of certain herbs, this one frequently comes up for love. But let's put it this, make it very clear, when you want peace and harmony, part of that comes in with love and kindness and patience and understanding. Calm heads do not come from angry situations, you know what I mean? So it's also a good herb for protection, and I don't think that it's specifically for peace, but it's just one that I always add to whatever I'm doing, just because it is a really great everyday item in your house, and it's all purpose. And as you can see, I just kind of like crushed the leaves a little bit with my hands. And just sprinkle it down. Now, if you wanted to crush up these herbs, you absolutely could without a mortar and pestle. Just take like your rolling pin and put some of the herbs in a Ziploc bag or something of that nature and roll over it with a rolling pin. I'm just pinching the... If you saw one of my videos where I talked about how the yellow head of the flower, the dried flower, is seeds, that's literally what it looks like when you crush it up. So let me just do one more small one and bring it up closer to the camera so you can see. So all I did was take a little flower, crush it in my hands, and now you can see all the seeds coming out. If you wanted to plant that in your garden, you could. Chamomile is a very easy plant to grow. The only thing that I'll add to this to make it just a little bit more potent and a little bit special is a little bit of glitter. If you have craft glitter, that works. This is one of the glitters that came from Amazon. Remember how I said that I had a whole bunch of glitters that I had purchased really cheap? And I'm adding blue because blue is a peaceful color. But again, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do it at all. It's just something that I'm doing for a little boost. And I'm adding silver. Those are the two colors I felt gravitated to and pulled to for the purposes of this ritual. And as always, what do? Roll the candle in it. My advice is hold the candle to the edges. Now, if you did use salt and you added salt to it, you would just add it to the blend like I made right here, and that would be it. And try not to get the candle in it. Just drop it in there, like so. Obviously, these are very tall candle holders, but if you don't have these, it's okay. As long as it's a heat-safe container, you should be fine. As always, do not leave candles unattended. Do not leave them going if you're leaving the house or anything, which you shouldn't be doing anyway right now. I'm just trying to make sure I get the glitter and extra herbs off my fingers. I do not want glitter all over me. It's part of the reason why I do not wear glittery shadows and things of that nature. Not that I wear cosmetics that often, but I find it annoying to get it everywhere. Okay. I thoroughly agree with Robert Welsh and Nady about it being the herpes of the cosmetic world, because you never catch a break. And if you can, try to do this on something that you can fold up, because all you do is just add whatever's left on the bag or the paper into your holder, just like so. And that's it. That's how to make a very easy, very simple, very rudimentary, but powerful peace candle. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. And if you use this technique, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know what, if any, benefit you have encountered with it. If you do have any specific people you want peace from, you can write their name on a piece of paper, tape it to the bottom of the outside of the jar. Do not put it inside the outside. You want it on the outside, and then light it, and that will also help. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see anything special, or if you have any requests. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out, and I hope you have a very peaceful, very harmonious, very loving day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, I wish you the brightest of blessings, and blessed be.